In this bulletin, 41 COVID-19 patients are severe. Good response for Khandavu vaccination drive. And non-complying businesses warned.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Good afternoon, Fiji. The Ministry of Health confirms that there are currently 300 COVID-19 patients admitted in hospitals in the Central and Western Divisions. Permanent Secretary for Health, Dr. James Fong, says 62 patients are admitted at the Lautoka Hospital, 67 at the FEMAT Field Hospital, and 171 admitted at the CWM Hospital, St. Giles, and in McCoy. He adds that 41 patients are considered to be in severe condition, while 9 are critical. Dr. Fong says they have noted a drop in cases reported per day recently, but this is because their daily testing numbers have also been dropping. Dr. Fong earlier announced that only persons who have a higher risk of developing severe COVID-19 are being targeted for testing in the Suva Nosori. The Khandavu COVID-19 Vaccination Task Force has been receiving an overwhelming response from over 5,000 Fijians on the island who have been vaccinated. Rokotui Khandavu Kitione Raimbevu says the vaccination campaign started 3 weeks ago, and to date, 97.8% of the targeted population on the island have been vaccinated, and more to follow suit. Raimbevu says it's obvious that a good number of Fijians across the country are easily swayed by unverified information and hearsay, which demotivates them from getting the jab. But this is not the case for Khandavu.
Some that did not, were double-minded with the vaccines when they reached the villages, they came to the village. But so far, so good with the drive here in Khandavu Island, more than 90%. By the end of the next week, mop-up phase, we are targeting to reach 100%.
More than 1,500 businesses are now under the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission radar for non-compliance with COVID-safe protocols. FCCC has conducted over 7,900 inspections nationwide, which since the second wave for the pandemic began in April this year to ensure businesses are operating under the COVID-safe measures. Chief Executive Joel Abraham says they have set a specific business continuity plan and enforcement approach into motion that focuses on customer safety during this time. FCCC teams are also traveling to communities outside the containment zones to ensure that all businesses are in compliance with the current protocols nationwide.
As soon as the second wave hit, we started mobilizing our team, and from 20th April till 30th July, we've conducted more than 7,900 inspections. We found about 1,606 traders to be in breach, and we've been continuously advising them.
Staff at the University of the South Pacific are ready to put the past of talks and commotions of the institution's administrative affairs behind them as they prepare for another semester next week. USB Staff Union President Elizabeth Reed Fong says the biggest highlight of the commencement of Semester 2 is to have their Vice-Chancellor, Professor Paul Alwalia, back with them. Reed Fong says the COVID-19 pandemic has brought on challenges of its own for USB as learning shifted to online platforms, and this will continue into the second semester. Speaking to FBC News from Nauru, Professor Alwalia says he's looking forward to instilling stability and ensuring that the institution adheres to the principles of good governance.
Effectively, my vision and plans haven't changed. They're about to steer the university to become a world-class institution. This is the campaign that I launched 2 years ago. I'm totally committed to doing that. So going to make sure that we're really connected to our regional campuses.
So we're thrilled to have him back, and we can get on with serving the students and the people of our region.
Professor Alwalia, who resumed office on Monday, will move to Samoa next month, where he will serve his 3-year contract. President Major General retired Chochi Kunusi Conrote received credentials from India's High Commissioner to Fiji, P.S. Karthikeyan at the State House. Prior to his appointment, Karthikeyan joined the Indian Foreign Service in 2004. He served as the Deputy High Commissioner of India to Australia. During his earlier stints abroad, he has served in the High Commission of India in Maldives and the Embassy of India in Syria, handling political and commercial work beside other responsibilities. Prior to joining the Indian Foreign Service, Karthikeyan worked in the public sector banking industry and also in the private manufacturing sector. The American firefighters are now desperately trying to contain the largest single wildfire in California's history. Temperatures continue to rise in the states, fueling the already out-of-control wildfire, now known as the Dixie Fire. And to our latest COVID-19 update for today, Fiji recorded 264 new COVID-19 infections for the period ending at 8 a.m. yesterday. 133 cases are from the Central Division and 131 are from the West. The Health Ministry also recorded 10 new COVID-19 deaths between July 30th and August 10th. All deaths were reported in the Central Division. Fiji has recorded 37,776 cases since April this year. There are now 24,414 active cases in isolation, with 12,934 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 327. The vaccination campaign also continues around the country. As of yesterday, 523,162, or 89.2% of the population, have received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. 196,022, or 33.4%, have received their second dose. The 5 most vaccinated areas include Mba, Rewanadonga, and Naitasiri, which are now 100% first jabbed. Next is Nandi. And Fiji football awaits confirmation. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Kaiviti Silktails will return to Fiji sooner than expected. This after the New South Wales Rugby League Board made the decision to abandon a number of major competitions for the 2021 season.
The initial plan was for them to remain in Australia for the entire season and possibly look at half the season next year being played in New South Wales, then the other half being played in Fiji.
The Fiji Football Association is trying to get its national players into camp to prepare for the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualification. Due to the pandemic, the national team has not come together in a couple of months to train as a team. Team manager Anushil Kumar says the association is awaiting approval from the Ministry of Health to train within their bubble.
We are also ready to march into camp as soon as we get a green light from the Sports Commission. Coach Fleming had been doing his homework and preparations of the field. So we are just waiting for the Sports Commission.
Fiji Sevens gold medalist Ratu Melindernalanga reveals his grandfather's advice kept him going when things got tough. Training sessions for the Tokyo Olympics was so intense that most players, including Dernalangi, were on the brink of giving up. He says at that time he held on to his grandfather's advice.
There were some aspects of training that felt too much at times, almost had me giving up training. Then I can face anything on the rugby field.
Cloudy and windy conditions are prevailing over most parts of the country today. Conditions are fairly cool. There's a chance of scattered showers in some areas. That's FBC News Now. Join us again for our 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports, and live radio broadcasts from any of our 6 FBC radio stations. You stay safe and good afternoon.